very good evening and welcome to Primetime News here on MTV Sports. I'm Ramesh Irugal Bandara.
And I'm Krishi Panitharatna. Let's start off with a look at the headlines.
Supreme Court hears the petitions that stated that the Parliamentary Select Committee that probes the impeachment motion against the Chief Justice does not have judicial powers. Minister Lakshman Yapa Abewardana says that the Parliamentary Select Committee on the impeachment of the Chief Justice is trustworthy. And a child from a children's home in Vellavatta falls into a canal and drowns.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa met a group of journalists at Temple Trees this morning. The president commented on the comments he made about appointing an independent commission to re-examine the report of the Parliamentary Select Committee which looked into the impeachment motion against the Chief Justice.
There isn't a problem about the committee that was appointed. When you take a look at the Constitution, it does not state that such a committee should be appointed. It is not in the Constitution, nor is there any law. I clearly stated this. Some of the newspapers did not carry this. On some, it was mentioned in the inside pages, but it was written in a different way in the front. It is my prerogative to make this appointment. We will see about the punishment or what needs to be done. During a media briefing held today, Minister Lakshman Yapa Abewardana commented on the statement made by the General Secretary of the UNP yesterday that the impeachment motion against the Chief Justice should be examined by a panel of judges appointed by the Commonwealth. The United National Party General Secretary issued a media release stating that the impeachment motion should be examined by a panel of judges appointed by the Commonwealth. I have one question to ask him. When the civic rights of Sirimao Bandaranaike were taken away, a commission consisting of 3 judges was appointed. When the judges were appointed, she requested that 3 judges who are currently in service be appointed. They then said that there was no need for it. Sirimao Bandaranaike went before the Presidential Commission and said that she had no faith in it, and she thought that she couldn't provide evidence. She wrote a letter. Once she left after writing this letter, they carried out a one-sided inquiry. But now, they are calling for international judges. However, 1 month ago, Tissatta Nayaka and Anuruddha Dissanayake, speaking in Parliament, called for an impeachment motion against the Chief Justice.
මේ මාසයකට කලින් පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේදී කිව්වේ තිස්සත් නායක මහත්මයාත් අනුර දිසානායක මහත්මයාත් මේ අග්‍රවිනිශ්චයකාරවරියට විරුද්ධව දෝෂාභියෝගයක් ගේන්න ඕන කියලා.
If a conclusion which is totally different to the one reached by the Parliamentary Select Committee is reached either through a committee of Commonwealth judges as proposed by the UNP or a special commission appointed by the President, doesn't this amount to a challenge of the people's supremacy? Parliament represents the people's supremacy. However, if the President allows a decision reached in Parliament to be discussed even further, then it is the people's supremacy at its greatest. Minister, what if the decision changes once discussions are held? No. As the government, we have a strong belief in the recommendations of the committee. Judging by the answers that you gave to the previous questions, we can see that you have a strong belief in the decision of the committee. Does that mean that this decision will not change even if another committee is appointed? Has the government reached a final decision? No, it has not. Sometimes decisions given in the High Court are re-examined by the Supreme Court. However, the verdicts rarely differ. Even if they do, it is by a percentage point or 2.
The petitions stating that the Parliamentary Select Committee that was appointed to probe the impeachment motion against the Chief Justice did not have judicial power were taken up for hearing in the Supreme Court today.
The 7 petitions which were referred to the Supreme Court by the Court of Appeal for interpretation of the Constitution were taken up before a 3-judge bench comprising of Justices Nimal Gamini Amatunga, Kreshu Pavan and Priyasad Deb. President's Councils Shibli Aziz, K. Kanageshwaran, Sanjeeva Jayawardena, Udita Ihalaheva, senior lawyer S.L. Gunasekara and attorney at law Kushmal Varnasurya represented the petitioners.
ශ්‍රේෂ්ඨාධිකරණයේ විශේෂයෙන් ප්‍රශ්නයක් ඇසුවා සියලුම නීතිඥවරුන් විශේෂයෙන්ම ආදේශ කරන්ට ආපු සියලුම.
The Supreme Court asked a special question from all the attorneys who were present in court whether they were opposed to the Supreme Court bench taking up this case. All the lawyers said that they had no objection.
සියා සිටියා එසේ මෙම අධිකරණ මඩුල්ල මෙම නඩුව ඇසීමට කිසිම විරෝධතාවයක් නැති බවට.
Meanwhile, the Supreme Court also took up 5 intervening petitions to the petitions that stated that the Parliamentary Select Committee did not have judicial powers. We oppose the 7 petitions. That is why we are saying that Parliament is supreme. After all, we were appointed by the people. That is the place we keep our trust in. We cannot allow Parliament to be suppressed. That is why we filed several petitions.
Meanwhile, lawyers in several areas continue to keep away from work for a third day today, stating that the impeachment of Chief Justice Dr. Shirani Bandaranaike is unfair.
Lawyers of the courts in Vellavaya, Bibila and Monaragala launched a protest march from the Monaragala court complex to the town and back today. The daily activities of the Haddon magistrates and district courts were disrupted as lawyers did not appear in court. This is a situation that was witnessed at the Vavuniya court premises. Meanwhile, activities at the Jaffna court complex were also paralysed as a result of the lawyers keeping away from court. Lawyers engaged in a protest opposite the Batticaloa court complex today. A correspondent stated that most activities at the court were paralysed due to the protest.
Retired High Court Judge W.M.T.B. Varavava says that a fair decision was not provided in the impeachment hearing against the Chief Justice. He made this statement at a conference in Kurunegala yesterday.
Everything in a country takes place according to the law and by the law. Governance should be according to the law. The legislature as well as the executive should act according to the law. The judiciary should also act according to the law. It was Aristotle who said that a country should be run according to the law. Even the British law that we have inherited states that we should listen to both sides. The event was organized by the Kurunegala Human Rights Collective in line with the World Human Rights Day. Making an appearance in court today with regard to a case, former Army Commander Sarath Fonseca expressed these views to the media.
දැන් දෝෂ අභියෝගය අර කොට්ටෝරුව කේල් ගහට ඇනලා පටල ගත්තා වගේ මේකේ පරාජය පිළිගන්න වෙලා තියෙනවා ඒක පිටිපස්සේට.
At least now the judiciary has to accept there is political interference. When we were treated unfairly, it was not accepted. But now when the judiciary is also being treated in the same manner, it has to accept whether there is political interference.
දේශපාලන ඇඟිලි ගැහිම් කරනවද නැද්ද කියලා දැන්වත් අධිකරණයට පිළිගන්න සිද්ධ වෙලා තියෙනවා.
Speaking at a media briefing today, United National Party parliamentarian Dr. Harsh De Silva said that the allegation that he called for the removal of the Chief Justice is not true.
The entire country and the world is aware that the government wanted to do this, and now that it has backfired, it is attempting to put the blame for this on the United National Party. They have dragged my name into this, saying I want to chase away the Chief Justice. This is an utter lie. What we said was that if Karyavasam had done some wrong, to investigate it and punish him. If this cannot be done, for his wife, the Chief Justice, to step down. Other than that, we never in any way called for measures to be taken against her in this manner.
And it's time now to take a look at the newspaper cartoon of the day.
Make your choice now.
කොඳු කඩන ලද අධිකරණය, කොඳු කඩන ලද පාර්ලිමේන්තුවක්, කොඳු කඩන ලද මාධ්‍ය ආයතන සියල්ලම තමන්ගේ යටතට අත්පත් කරගත්තාට පසුව එවැනි තත්ත්වයක් තමයි අපි කියන්නේ ඒකාධිපති වියුරුවක්.
අරමුණක් නැති ආණ්ඩුවක්. වැඩපිළිවෙලක් නැති ආණ්ඩුවක්. මේක ආණ්ඩුවක් නෙවෙයි මේක පාණ්ඩුවක්.
අද පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ ඉන්න മന്ത്രിවරු අඳගොල්ල බිහිරි පාසල් වල ගිහිල්ලා තමයි යවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ. අත උස්සාගෙනමයි ඉන්නේ. වෙන කිසි වචනයක් කතා කරන්නේ නැහැ.
Vote now for your favorite cut of the day. Log on to www.newsfirst.lk or SMS to BEST space your choice and send it to 7788. For the best cut of the day, watch News First on Sirasa TV at 10 tonight. The best cut. Make your choice now.
The Bodhu Balasena organization says that the Buddhist temporalities ordinance should be abolished. The organization expressed its view during a media briefing today.
We are acting according to the Buddhist temporalities ordinance, which was introduced in 1931 by the British to destroy us. Certain monks and officials think that when they become a secretary, a commissioner or a chief incumbent in a Raja Mahavihara, all its properties belong to them. These properties have been given by kings. Certain monks and officials are selling these properties at low prices as if they have been handed over to them by their ancestors. This is our heritage which these individuals are destroying.
අපි දන්නවා මේ රටේ පාලකයාගේ
We know that this is a country where the rulers are passing laws overnight for their benefit and to overcome their challenges. We should destroy this Buddhist temporalities ordinance.
මෙන්න මේක ඉරා දාන්න ඕන නායකයන්. ඒ කියන්නේ මේක නායකහරුම ඉරන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ විහාර දේවාලගම් පනත මේක මේක අපි දැම්මම ඉරලා දානවා.
A 9-year-old child drowned today after falling into a canal in Vellavatta. According to the police, a child from a children's home in Vellavatta had met with the unfortunate death.
The police said that they have received information that the child had fallen into the canal while he was on the edge of its banks. The child's body was found after a search operation lasting several hours.
මේක පෙන්නන්න මෙහාට ආවා මාත් එක තමයි ආවේ මං කිව්වා පුතේ යන්න එපා මම තෝයයි දෙන්න මේකට යන් කියලා ඒ හින්දා ඒක මං දැක්ක නැහැ ඒට කරගෙන ගිහින් ඉන්නේ
වයිලදී ගියා ළමයාලදී ළමයා වටුණා.
The child fell into the canal while walking on its banks. I shouted and ran down. We tried to rescue the child with a stick. He was drifting away. I kept putting the stick. Then he went down.
The victim has been identified as Mohammed Milhan from Bandaravilla, who had come to Colombo to attend school. The police said that his mother is employed abroad.